So now we are in Module 12, Lesson 7, Summarizing Categorical Data. So two-way data, two-way frequency table or contingency table. It used to show the frequencies of data from a survey or experiment. Now, these are going to have two categories, with the rows indicating one category and the columns another. So if you look at this is a two-way table. So we have the amount of juniors, employed, unemployed, and the total of them. So as I go across, I add these two, and they equal 20. Seniors, I add these across, and I get 25. Then I can add straight down, and I would get 23. Add straight down, I would get 22. Add straight down, I get 45. Subcategories, the columns and row headers that represent the two different types of categories. So, these are my two types of categories. The joint frequencies for every combination of the subcategories, and then marginal frequencies are the totals. Okay, so here we go. Unisex names are often used for both males and females. At one point, the common unisex name in the U.S. were Casey and Riley, with 167,544 Caseys and 154,861 Rileys. During that time, there were 104,161 males with the name Casey and 75,882 females with the name Riley. So they've put that information into this two-way table. Now, remember again, if I add straight down, I should come up with this total. So in order to get the females that have the name Casey, I would just subtract these two numbers. So I should get 72,383. Okay, again, same thing here. If I was to add the males and female, I should get the total. So in order to find the amount of males, I'm going to subtract, and I should get 78,979. Now, do I need to put these plus signs and all that in there? No. So now I'm going to go across. So I'm going to add these to get the totals. So if I add them, I should get 183,140. If I add these two, I should get 148,265. And then if I was to add straight down or straight across, I should get the same amount, 331,405. And you just did a two-way frequency table. Technology. Pew Research Center released a survey that asked whether participants thought technology advancements in the future will make people's lives better or worse. Of the people interviewed, 423 earned less than $50,000 per year. 328 earned $50,000 or more. Of those earning less than $50,000 per year, 262 thought that people's lives would get better, and 240 of those earned $50,000 or more thought the same. Organize the data. So as we think about what it's saying, let's highlight our information. I don't want that color of highlighter. So we have, starting off, 423 that earned less than $50,000. So I come over here, this is less than $50,000. There's a total of 423 people. Okay, then I go here, and it says 328 earned $50,000 or more. So we're going to go 328. Oh, and we could just add straight down, so we know that there's 751 total people. Then the next part says, of those that earned less than $50,000, 262 thought lives would get better. So I'm going to take that 262 and I'm going to put it right here. Then the last part says 240 of those who earned more than $50,000 thought the same thing. So 240 would go here. So I can add straight down. So that's 502. Now, in order to get the column in the middle, I just need to take the totals and subtract what we have in the other column. And if I do that up top, I get 161. If I do the middle row for this, I would get 88. And if I add straight down, I should get 249. Now what we're going to do now is we are going to do a relative frequency. A relative frequency shows that you have a ratio. Okay, remember a ratio is a fraction. It is a fraction of the number of observations in the category to the total number of observations. Okay, so it's a ratio. It's observations to total. A two-way relative frequency table, oops, I think that's supposed to have an L in there, can help you see patterns of association in the data. Okay, so we're going to start down here. Oh, conditional relative frequency, the ratio of the joint frequency to the marginal frequency. So let's come down here. Many parents monitor their children's internet usage. The Pew Research conducted a survey of whether parents do or do not check what websites their teens have visited and whether they are the parent of a teen between the ages of 13 and 14 or between 15 and 17. The results are shown below. So here we have it. So what we're going to do on this is it already gives us this information. What we're going to do right now is we want to make this a relative frequency table. So here we go. We have do check, that's 299. And how many total students are there? Our total in the survey right here. So then I take my calculator and I put that in and make it into a percent, and I get 28.2%. Then I come over to this next one. It's 140 over 1,060. I make that into a percent and I get 13.2%. And then I do the total, and that's 439 over 1060. And that would get us 41.4%. Then I come down to this one. And I'm just getting these numbers from up here. 348 over a total of 1060. I divide that and find the percent, and I get 32.8%. And then on this one, it was 273 out of 1060. And so if I do that, I should come out with 25.8%. And then over here, I have 621 out of 1060. And that is 58.6%. Look at that. Totals. So this total is 647. So out of the amount of people that do check, that is 61%. Guys, couldn't I have just added 28.2 plus 32.8 and gotten that 61%? So this one is 413 over 1060. And you should have ended up with 39%. And then this one, hopefully you don't have to use a calculator for to get 100%. Okay. So, what do we know? Well, we know that 61% check, that 39% do not check, what else do we know? We know that more parents check for ages 15 to 17. Okay, nice. So, there we go. So over here, we have voting. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, voter turnout describes how many eligible voters show up to vote in an election. The table shows the number of eligible voters who did and did not vote in 2012 for the oldest and youngest eligible age groups. Okay, so we're going to organize this data. So, I should have given you more space for this. That's okay, we'll figure it out. So we're going to do this, and it's 12,515 divided by 42,514. So you put that into the calculator and hopefully got 48.5%. Then this one is 13275 over 42,515. And you should have gotten 51%. Then over here, oh, I forgot to go over this. This is a conditional. Okay, so let's do this. I was doing the wrong one. Sorry about that. I knew when my numbers were coming up weird. Okay, so I apologize. This one's a conditional relative. This right here was just a relative frequency, okay? So this one up here was just the ratio between those two, and you find the percent. This one is a conditional, so it's the a ratio of the joint frequency to the marginal frequency. So this time I apologize, I messed up on that. 12,515 over, and it just wants it over the total. Okay, the total of that line of all the people that are 18 to 24. So that's where they were getting those percentages. I messed up on that. Oops, it's supposed to be a 5. Okay, so then this one is 13,275 over 25,790. So this is the conditional relative frequency. And this will come out to 51.5%. And then this is the 25,790 over 25,790. And that'll get me 100%. So the conditional relative frequency. Oh, I'm having a hard time. You take the first column and you divide it by, try that again. Yeah, the first column divided by the third column, which is the total. Okay? And then you take the second column, divide it by the third column, which is the total. So on this one, I would take the 20, I should do this in a different color. 23, nope, it's not 23, that's 113 4, and its total is 16,724. And then I go across, oh, sorry, I forgot to find the percentage, 67.8%. This, when you do this, it's like you're only comparing the 18 to 24 group and then the 75 and over. You're not comparing the whole table to each other. Okay, and then this one is 5,380 over the total of 16,724. And when I do the percentage of that, I'll come out with 32.2%. And then you do the 16,724 over the 16,724. Okay, which age group has the higher voter turnout? Okay, out of the two groups, which one has the higher voter turnout? Okay, so 48%, or I should say 48.5% of 18 to 24-year-olds, and 67.8% of 75 and older. Okay. So more is right here.